Hello and welcome back to Get Great at Maths. I'm here to help you pass your maths exam, so hit that like and subscribe button. We're going to look at keywords, key formulas and how to gain top marks. So let's get ready to get great at maths. This is a question on the perimeter of a sector. Now the shape you can see in the diagram is a sector and we've got to work out the perimeter. Now the perimeter is the distance all the way around the edge, so the total distance all the way around the edge. So in this question here, the key facts are that the radius is equal to 10, which is highlighted in the diagram. It tells you the diagram is not to scale, which means you can't use a protractor to measure the angle AOB. The area of the sector is 40 pi. We've got to work out the perimeter of this sector. Your answer must be in the form a plus b pi, and a and b are integers, which just means they are whole numbers. And you must show you're working out, and this is worth 6 marks. Now, to be able to answer this question, we need to know some key formula. So the key formula, first of all, is the area of the sector, which is the angle, and this is the angle between A, O and B, so this missing angle here, divided by 360 times by the formula for the area of a circle, which is pi r squared. So my area of a sector is the angle over 360 times pi r squared. The arc length is a fraction of the circumference of the circle, and the circumference of the circle can be worked out in 2 ways, either pi d, or it could be worked out by 2 pi r. So there's 2 different ways this formula could be written depending on what information you've been given. Now we've been given the radius of this question, so the bottom formula here makes more sense to use because we know the radius. So my arc length is the angle divided by 360 times 2 times pi times my radius. We will also need to know for the perimeter of the sector. Now it just makes sense, this is a radius from A to O, a radius from O to B, so this is 2r, so 2 radiuses or 2 radii, and then you add on your arc length AB. So that is the perimeter of the sector. Now R is the radius and D is the diameter. Press pause, have a go at answering this question, press play when you're ready to hear the answer. So this question involves us to know the angle between A, O and B. And once we've got that angle, that is going to be the key thing connecting the formula of the area of the sector and the area of the arc length. Okay, now give me a thumbs up if you managed to work out this angle here. If you haven't done it yet, press pause and then press play when you've got the angle here. So we're going to be using the formula here for the area of the sector. Now we know the formula is the angle divided by 360 times pi r squared. And the sector area is 40 pi. So I can literally just write that down as a formula. So the area of the sector is 40 pi, which is going to be the angle, which we now know is x divided by 360, times pi times by my radius squared, where the radius is 10. Now, if you notice on both sides have got a pi in. So I can cancel both the pi's on both sides. I'm then going to rearrange to find x. So I'm going to get rid of this divide by 360, and I'm going to multiply by 360. And I'm going to get rid of this times by 10 squared. And now 10 squared is 100 because 10 times 10 is 100. So I'm going to get rid of the times by 100. I'm going to divide by 100. So if you wrote 40 times 360 over 100 or equivalent, that will give you a mark. For writing out the formula for the area of the sector, putting them equal to each other is a second mark. Now from here, both the numerator and denominators have got zeros. And there are 2 zeros in the numerator and 2 zeros in the denominator, so these will just cancel, leaving me with 4 times 36 divided by 1. So to do this without a calculator, we just have to work out 36 times 4. So to find 36 times 4, we're just going to double 36 and double it again, which will give you 144 for 1 mark. So my angle here is 144. Now I know this angle, I can now work out the arc length because I've got the angle divided by 360 times 2 times pi times my radius, which is 10. So my arc length here is 144 over 360 times 2 times pi times 10. And that's your 4th mark. From here, we've got to work this out without a calculator. So you can see we've got a times by 10 and a 0 in the denominator, so the zeros will just cancel at this stage here. So I have got 144 divided by 36 times 2 pi, and to do this without a calculator is quite tricky. So what we're going to do first is we're going to look at the 2 and the 36 because these are both even and we're just going to halve them. So half of 2 is 1, half of 36 gives me 18. So that is the same as 144 over 18 lots of pi. So the pi will just stay there on the end. Now I've then got to simplify this. Now 144 and 18 are both even, so I'm just going to halve both the numbers. So a half of 144 is 72, and a half of 18 is 9. So I've got 72 over 9 pi. Now 72 over 9 is the same as 72 divided by 9. Now 72 divided by 9 is just 8, so this is the same as 8 pi, and that's how we'd work it out without a calculator. Now once I've got my arc length, the question said find the perimeter. So here's my formula for the perimeter. It's 2 lots of the radius. So it's going to be 2 times the radius, which is 10, which gives me 20, plus my arc length, which is 8 pi, for my 5th mark. My final mark comes for writing the answer of 20, because 2 times 10 is 20, plus the 8 pi for my 6th and final mark. Give me a smiley face in the comment box below if you got this one correct. So well done if you've had a good go on this one. Here's the mark scheme. So on the left-hand side, it says the answer is 20 plus 8 pi for the final answer with correct working. It's worth 6 marks. B3 means there are 3 method marks. OE means all equivalent. M2 gives you 2 method marks. M1 is 1 method mark. If 0 scored, SC2 for the answer of 20 plus 8 pi. Now, if you manage to write down an answer of 20 plus 8 pi without any working, you've done really well. And the mark scheme said that, well, the question said you had to show correct working. And if you didn't put any working down, you can only get a maximum of 2 marks. So well done if you managed to get those 2 marks without any working. It does say it may be implied on the diagram. So if you put values in on the diagram, then you can work things out using the diagram. If you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment below to let me know what you would like to see in my next video. See you next time!